Speaking of money, the State Department of Treasury just updated its list of unclaimed property. Residents are encouraged to check the department's website to see if they have lost or unclaimed property, just including cash even, that they don't know about. Now, the process is simple, and people in our own newsroom found claims under their names. First, put your name into the Department of Treasury's unclaimed property website. The site will show you a list of unclaimed properties, some of them worth thousands of dollars, with names and sometimes hometowns. Claim the properties you think may be yours and follow the steps to officially file that claim with the state. If your claims are confirmed, you'll get a check in the mail from the state. You can find all the necessary information on our website, WILX.com.